When a woman has the power to walk away from a man that she loves, but he's not loving her back the right way, she allows the space that is necessary for her heart to heal. More importantly, when a woman can walk away from a man, when you can say to a man, okay, I'm done, I'm out of here, you then give that man the space he needs to gain clarity. Because sometimes access breeds blindness. We're blind to what we have access to. I would liken it to being in New York City at the Empire State Building. If you're right there at the front door, you can't see it because you have direct access. But the further away you are from it, the more it comes into view. Personal story. We're young, in our 20s. We had been dating, Lisa and I had been dating for some years. And, I'm trying to figure out if I really want to be married. I had been married and divorced for obvious reasons. I was the problem. I'd never been faithful to a woman. And so I was going through this evolution as a man, just growing and developing. And so I said to her one day, I don't think I want to get married. I was trying to be respectful. I didn't want to just string her along. And I'm expecting her to say, well, why? What did I do? Let's work on this. Every other woman, that's what they would have said. Lisa said to me, and I knew Lisa loved me. Lisa said to me, she said, okay. Literally, she said, okay. And we ended the conversation. She never called me back. We had been together for years. I knew she loved me. And so now I'm like, what's going on? And so life is going on, and I'm puzzled by how she could just say, okay. I'm wondering if she ever loved me at this point, though I'm the one that said, I don't think I want to proceed to marriage. So then later I hear, we hadn't communicated, later I hear that she's dating somebody else. And this guy is a big league baseball player. He's a multimillionaire. He's physically fit. I'm a little young preacher, broke, overweight. And I'm hearing this stuff about she has this boyfriend. And so, people constantly bringing me the information. And I kind of pushed through that. And so one day I went to my mom's house. And my mom asked me, she said, where's Lisa? I said, Mama kind of told Lisa, I don't think I want to get married. And I told her to move on with her life. And my mom said, you're making a fool of yourself. Lisa's your wife. And so then I prayed about it. And I heard God say, Lisa's your wife. So now I got to figure out, how do I call Lisa, because she's in this new relationship, and tell Lisa that I feel like she's my wife. Lisa was always in my heart. This is the first time I've ever felt like this about a woman. She's the only woman in my life that I've ever been faithful to. And so I called her, and she said, yes. And I'm trying to figure out, how are you leaving a multimillionaire, coming back to a little broke preacher? But it goes to something deeper. Our relationship was founded on our friendship and our mutual vision. And so I think that was something she and I shared that was deeper than all of the superficial things that he might have offered. And so when she came back, it didn't take me long. I said, we're getting married. I was very decisive, and I had made my mind up. But it was her walking away, that's the point, that gave me the clarity that this woman is my life's partner.
The walking away part, when I heard that story, it was so beautiful. And I start to process, okay, it's so hard for so many people to walk away because we have attachments for many different reasons.
Correct.
But if you can just tell yourself, and maybe I understand it's not this easy, no matter what though, if he doesn't want me, I will walk away. And look, your story ends beautifully, right? You go back. That isn't guaranteed. But either way, Her walking away was the thing that she needed to do for herself, for her
Correct.
self-esteem, for her own ego, right? For her to be able to, for her own power. And then there's one more final piece, is that this is a little controversial, but it's honest. Being thirsty isn't sexy.
It's not.
Now, I like hungry, right? Being hungry for a healthy relationship can be beautiful. Being hungry for a better business can be beautiful. Being thirsty, to me, isn't attractive. And so now when someone is begging you to be with them, if they're accepting your bad behavior, the person respects you less because thirsty isn't attractive.
It's not. And when you think about it, this is the first woman in my life that ever walked away from me. And she did testify later that her heart was broken. She did cry, like all of those things. But she put her self-respect above her desire for some idea of a relationship with me. To the thirsty part, think about it like this. Even a woman is not attracted to a man that accepts her bad behavior. She loses respect and loses attraction to that man. A husband is not attracted to a woman that would beg, because a woman that would beg is not a wife in his mind. A wife is a woman that sets a certain standard, holds to it, and demands that I meet her at that level. That's what I discovered when she walked away from me. I said, this is my wife, you know, and it's just real.
Thank you for saying that. By the way, I can't believe that it didn't dawn on me to say, but 100%, like, I don't find thirstiness attractive in a guy.
Either side.
As well, yeah.
Either side.
Yeah, and I think that that's important to really state.
Like when you think about men, there's a difference between pursuing a woman versus chasing a woman. A man that pursues a woman, he reads her energy, he respectfully, communicates his desires, his intentions. And he doesn't go any further than, he serves, she serves back. He doesn't go any further than she's responding. He pursues, she approves. When she stops approving, he stops pursuing. A man that chases a woman, he has no regard for boundaries. He's not reading her energy. And, he's over the top. Woman will never have respect for that man.
That is so true. You're 1,000% right. And again, I think some people are going to push back, but I'm just like,
Correct.
It's true. Like, I have dated all sorts. So after I'd been in that emotionally abusive relationship, I flipped and went the other way, right? I'm just going to get like a guy. And I know a lot of women say this, find someone that loves you more than you love them. That's the worst advice ever. And vice versa, by the way. I would advise that if a guy said that, it's terrible advice.
Correct.
And so I went too far on the opposite direction, and I found a man or a boy. I mean, I was, 17, 18 at the time. I found a guy who was the yes person, and he was very sweet, and he would just do anything for me. And what happened was I just abused it in the way where I just took advantage of it, right? And then now I did lose respect for him, and it's horrible for me to say, trust me, this doesn't make me feel good about myself, but it's true. And so I think that beautiful dynamics happen where you both show each other respect and you both show each other boundaries.
Correct.
That you can't be pushed around, no matter what gender you are.
Correct. And even today, I'm 58 years old today. Lisa's in her 50s. Because we both demanded respect, we set those boundaries. We've never breached those boundaries. I've never swore or cursed at my wife. I've never handled my wife aggressively, never disrespectfully. She's never handled me that way. It's because the way you start is the way you finish. I believe we're more in love now than we've ever been. And it's because we started from a place of friendship and respect. And that's lifelong. That goes the distance. And so I would finally say, when you get through with all of the superficial stuff, make certain that you have a firm self-love. If you don't know who you are, you really don't know who fits into your future. Firm self-love, know your purpose, wait on the right person, learn to be happy and fulfilled as an individual. that you might be patient. Don't buy into the hype. Well, you're this age, you're that age, you should be desperate. You should just cave in. No such thing. You can live a full and whole and complete life as an individual if the right partner never finds you. But if you do your personal work, you will attract what you are.
Talk to me then about, so the power of walking away. Lisa was very, okay, cool, leaves you. But you've spoken about how sometimes guys will then manipulate you or gaslight you. Talk to me about the behavior and why sometimes it is very hard for us to walk away, even when we realize it's not healthy for us.
Correct. Because, I've been doing this thing on studying narcissism because my community has really been impacted by narcissistic men. And so, again, no mental health professional here, but have done some study, had a lot of conversations about it. Well, when a woman is dealing with, a woman in particular is dealing with a narcissistic lover, well, he has a way of reeling you back in. He has a way of, just hanging around. I think they call it hoovering. And he has a way of love bombing you, just becoming, kind of going back to what you were talking about earlier, just becoming everything you ever imagine. And you buy into this, what I call toxic nostalgia, where you're so reminded of the best times, it washes out the realities of the trauma and the bad times. And so a lot of women are constantly reeled back into these situations. And this, again, is why I believe mental health professionals say that no contact is a must. And when we say no contact, we mean social media, phone, email, smoke signal, whatever. You have to do whatever you must to keep the distance between you and this individual, because you have to respect the fact that this person still has a certain psychological hold on you. And if you don't maintain the distance, grow out of this and heal from this, you will constantly be drawn back into the cycle over and over and over again. And here's the worst thing about being caught up in situations like that, is that the wrong person preoccupies your life. So technically, you're off the market. And I liken it to, it's almost like God has designed, God has said, I'm going to send you a Bentley. But every time the Bentley passes around, the broke down wreck of a car is in the space. You got to keep the space open for the right man to find and to fill that space. And so I think that's one of the greater tragedies of a woman that gets caught up in a situation where, a man just keeps circling and drawing her back in. He's made you unavailable for the right kind of man, the right love that ultimately is seeking to find you.
The available piece is really interesting. You said it earlier and I didn't want to interrupt you, and I'm conflicted by it, which I'd love to talk about. Like giving yourself, what was the phrase that you used? Giving people access to you is a form, like it can build resentment. So talk to me actually about that, because I can see that it would be useful to give your partner access to you, right? Because if you're standoffish, now they're going to feel it, but too much access to the wrong person can be toxic. So how do you start to navigate those two things?
Correct. Well, I think it's like your home. There are people that can access your front door, your gate, delivery people, but you had better not come beyond the front door, the step. There are people that can come from the front door into the living part of your home. There are other people who have proven, and the relationship is at a level that can have access to your bedroom. And so I think we have to qualify people for the different dimensions of access in our lives. and not become so excited or enamored by the optics that we don't bring a person through the proper testings to prove that, see, a man should prove that he's earned certain levels of access. And I think this is where we're breaking down today. Women are giving men too much access too fast. Now I'm said to be old fogey. Oh, he's a religious guy, you know, so they push back on me, but I just don't believe that.
What are they pushing back on, if you don't mind me asking?
I just think women should slow up with giving men too much sexual access. And a lot of women, you know, this is a different day and age, and I respect that. A lot of women push back on that. A woman cannot use her sexuality like relational currency. And we use currency to, you know, to exchange for what we want, right? Well, today, a lot of women are giving men sexual access, thinking that that exchange is going to end in a commitment or a relationship. I think women have to go back and understand the value that they are and really reassess how much access should I give a man? How soon should I? In fact, it's not even giving him access. It's him earning access, proving. Sometimes we're giving things away that have to be earned.
Click here right now to take your freaking power back and find out what the red flags are that he's just using you. I'd love to talk about a couple of the signs of when the guy is just blatantly only in it for sex and we may not see the signs.
Okay. So, as always, quick disclaimer,